Hello and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. Yes, that's right. There's a 2014 model. That's why we differentiate. Despite the fact it's now 2016. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. This is a car we've bought to keep. This is a Spectre. Salem Spectre, yeah. And we've got a couple of cars in here that I want to do up and sell because we've already got a Royale Crown, is it? No, Kieran. Yeah, and Sakura GT20. So these are both to be done up and sold. So I'm going to do those. We're going to do one of these and pop the Spectre back in here. And that's today's job. So it's going to be a GT20 or a Kieran. Do 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 do. G20 it is. Alright, so that was nice and quick. So that means we can send this one back. It just saves a bit of time with loading when we come back here, if we need to do that. How do I do this? Yes, parking. Off it trots. Right, little old sports car from the past. That's where things are made. Can't make things in the future very easily. So here we go. So this is to be sold on because this is the one I've already got. Yes. Okay. Let's do the first. Let's check my inventory. Slowly increasing list of stuff. I don't want that. Yeah, okay, got 2 cam gears, drive shaft, well, some markings on there. Good, so let's do the usual. Let's take off all the bodywork. There's no lights, no fenders. There's one door. A bumper and some lights at the back. Oh, and the trunk. Alright, let's go try fixing them up. Alright, shouldn't take long. Only a few of them. Alright, so what were they? They weren't the hood. Front bumper is knackered. There's no wings. Was this door? Huh. No? Huh. Well, it was the other door, obviously. Wow, most of these parts were rubbish. Rubbishy rubbish. Proper rubbish. Why can't I go back into assemble mode? There we go. Okay, there we are. So that's all the bits of the bodywork that we had. So get rid of the ones that were knackered, and then we're ready to start the normal procedure, as 'twere. So let's dive straight in. Let's take it out of assemble mode. Right, and here we go. Not dealt with one of these engines for a little while. It's one of these sort of long. Is it a V8 or a V6? An i6. It's probably inline 6, I guess that stands for. That's my guess. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 headers. Cylinders even. 2 camshafts, which is a bit frustrating because they've each got a billion camshaft caps. I've forgotten this. This is the more complicated of the engines, I guess. I mean, to be fair, the other one, the V8's split up the complication, so it doesn't feel like it's either one is desperately complicated. But together, it adds up to a fair amount of stuff. But for some reason, it just seems like more here. I don't know. Something to do with old stuff being a bit more. I don't know, a bit less efficient, generally speaking. More things required to do the same job as a modern thing, which does it all in. Probably with electronics, to be fair, so it can go wronger. And this is probably easier to fix, this old stuff. I don't know much about all this old crap. Right, let's get the timing gear off. Belts. And then pulleys. Oh. Take it all the way off, eh? There we go. Alternator, there's a power steering pump, and there's a distributor. There's little clips. There we go. And the rotor, and then the distributor itself. Okay, so we can take off the timing cover now. And timing chain, idle roller thing. What's this? Oh, that's the water pump, look. Cam gears, camshafts, there we are, so that's the top of the engine. Oh, I missed a spark plug, look, there we go. And these air filters on these sort of 3 carburetors. So I mean, these days it's just been one big carburetor, but well, probably quite small actually compared to these. Whereas these 3 sort of lumps of metal. Never mind, good. That's all that off. So then we can attack the other side, take off the exhaust manifolds, and that should allow us to remove the top part of the engine, the head. Oops. Oh, very sniffy today, that's not very good. Makes me sound all bugged up. First class trade to Nottingham, please. That won't make any sense to anyone who hasn't seen the Tunes advert from the 1980s. Tunes! Alright, I can do some tunes actually. Oh, there's a radiator attached to nothing at all. Or I mean a fan even. Right, so let's move it up into the air and attack it like we just don't care. Oh dear. Right. Oh, gotta click on it first. Apparently having a blocked nose is ruining the air access to my brain, making my thinking processes much more sluggish than normal. Alright, so let's go off this suspension-y bits. Yep. And a little link. Should be derogatory really, it's a fine sized link, it's not small, it's not large, it's just right. And bottom supports. There we go, that's one side taken out. Right, don't forget to take out your chocolate bush. It's ever so chocolatey now. Oh, can we get the oil filter off also here? Yep. Alright, let's clamber across the car and take out the other side of the suspensions. Take off the caliper and brakes. We can get off the wheel hubs and so forth. There we are. Big bolts, big bad bolts. Right, so all this comes off first. There we go. Take our sway bar link, our tie rods. There we go. Getting there. Oh, lovely jubbly. Take out some more bush. Right, so that's the suspension dealt with at the front. Let's go down the back. Let's fiddle with the rear end, as the actress said to the bishop. Alright, there we go. First things first, take off these muddy wheels. Sort of horrible. It's like they've got some sort of silver rust. Yeah. Right. Yep, take out a bit more bush. Everyone's favourite thing, bush removal. Yeah, man. Alright, shocks, springs. Let's get the fuel tank whilst we're here. Alright, it's all coming along swimmingly, apart from my breathing. Right, okay, almost done. Almost done. Finger that bush, and bolt the U. Oh. That's right. Okay, that's all of that. Oh no, we've got to take off the springs and the shock. There we go, so that's the whole rear completely emptied. Oh look, we're down the front again. Don't need to install anything yet. Right, good. Pressing the buttons in roughly the right order. Take out the gearbox and the clutch. Lovely doubles, and then the flywheel. Alright, so now we want to drain the oil. Polar opposite corner. Dunk. Do 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 do. Right, so I want to get right underneath the oil drain. Save ourselves that $100 cleanup fee, plus all the slipping over. That's the main problem, it's the health and safety, because if you let that oil drain on the floor, we'll be slipping and sliding, carrying heavy bits of equipment. It's a recipe for disaster. You often wondered about that, haven't you? What book is that in? Is that in a cookery book? Delia Smith's Recipes for Disaster. You will need 1 7.4 or higher on the Richter scale earthquake in the middle of the ocean. You'll need 1 seaside resort where people live next to the ocean with no sea defences. You will require lots of people looking the other way as the tsunami approaches them. These are the things you require for a disaster. Yeah, it could be done better probably with some planning and forethought. as can most things. Right. Alright. So, doing the engine yo-yo dance. Take out the crankshaft, drop the car again, and pull out the engine. And there we have a complete strip down. Completed. Oh yeah. So, as is usual, the next procedure is to fix as much as possible, sell all the crap that can't be fixed, and then start putting it all back on the car, buying the parts that I don't have. Sorry if I've spoilt it for you, but if you've not watched one of my videos already, that's basically what's going to happen over the next 20 minutes. Whilst I talk inanely about things that are happening. Alright, there we go. So, then we need to look at inventory, sell all the junk that couldn't be fixed or was broken in the fixing process, the repair process, and then I want to sell all the parts that couldn't be repaired. These are all the bits that you can't fix on a workbench. There still are some surprising parts you can fix on a workbench, but things like fuel tanks, spark plugs, oil filters, belts, springs, these are sort of consumable items that wear out. There we go, okay, so we've got 3 calipars, 2 camshafts, that's nice. Only got 1 of the 3 carburetors. There's the engine block, so yeah, we've got some of it. So, there we go, start putting it all back in. Engine block accessible from engine bay. Well, I'd argue that's where I am. Apparently not. Alright. Whatevs. Got the alternator. So here we go, putting it all back together. Water pump, yes. It's a bit of a Voyager Discovery, so we won't have a battery, for instance, because you can't fix those. And we don't want air filters, do we? Because there's that weird... it has the weird side carburetor thingies. Water pump pulley, okay, need one of them. Water pump pulley, yep, there you go. All your many little bolts. What else can we put on from here? Not an awful lot actually, so let's pop it up in the air. No radiator, which we forget to put that on later on. Right, so let's get in there. We've got the suspension lump. There we have got one of the steering knuckles. Lovely. No, we don't have wheel hub caps, we need some more of them. Upper suspension arm. And a lower suspension arm. Okay, so we need upper and lower suspension arms. Lower, upper. What else did I say we needed? Wheel hub caps, 2 of. We will also require 2 rear springs, tie rods, front springs. Okay, let's see what else we need. That's double wishbone shock absorbers. I wasn't sure, so I'm going to buy them, but there we go. It's nice and easy. With a spring and a cap. So we've got a steering rack, yes. Front sway bar B. Front sway bar B. And then we've got end link Bs. They're always down the bottom. There we go. End link B. Lovely. Oh, we've got these wheel hub bits and tie rods. Awesome. Okay, so that's most of one side done. Oh, we've got the bushes to buy as well. So rubber bushings, 1, 2, 3, 4, and some for the back. But I can't remember whether they're big or little. Don't know about the wrong size bush. Over here, the end of that. It's got to fit just right. Okay, so a bit more bush here. Alright, there we go. Front steering knuckle C. Alright. Front steering knuckle C. And your front wheel hub. And any support arms? Yeah, I thought we just bought one of these. Bottom. Oh, if I lower and off the bottom suspension arm. That's poor. That's the sort of thing that I do. That's why I've got the spare parts in my inventory. Alright, so, and we can put on the wishbone, a shock absorber with its spring and cap, tie rods, sway bar link. Oh, right, so, oh, and the wheel hub cap majigger. Alright, so that's most of the suspension sorted at the front. Let's do some exhaust. Front exhaust section I6. Front exhaust section I6. And then we've got a middle muff and a rear muff V8O. So middle muff, rear muff V8O. I don't have a spare one of these, do I? No. Okay. I thought I bought some excess exhaust parts in a previous rebuild, but either there wasn't a middle. I think it might have been CATs actually, catalytic converters. Coil spring, rear drive axle, so coil. Alright. And then we've got rear axle knuckle housings, solid rear axle, yeah. Rear drive axle, rear shock absorbers of B. Rear shock absorber B. And we've got these spring caps. Yeah, got both of those. So the spring and caps that we bought earlier. Solid control arm, we're going to need another one of them. We've got one leaf spring plate. Leaf plate, whatever they're called. And normal size rubber bush. Okay, so that's that side, nice and simple. The rear end. Come on, there we go. So we need a. I know we've got one of them. And one of them. What was it we needed? I guess we'll find out. Bolts that. I mean, nuts that bolt in or something. Words. Rear shock absorber, yes. Got all this bit. So it was a solid axle control arm. With a bit of bush. And then the leaf spring plate. Leaf spring plate. And did we need U-bolts? Need one U-bolt. Okay. Alright, so that's the rear suspension done. Let's put the fuel tank on. Fuel. And find out if we have a pump. We do. Awesome. Right, okay, so that's back to the front now. So we need to do some engine-y bits. Let's drop it down and fiddle with the engine. That's the technical term, I think. Get a quick drink of mechanic juice. Right, so we need 6 pistons and their con-rod friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, we need to put a crankshaft in first. Good work, mate. Right, crankshaft I6. Got one of them. Awesome. Oh, we can put the millions of bearing caps on as well while we're here. So like 5 or something? Just 4 maybe. And we do have 5, so maybe it was 5. Okay, so we've got another one underneath the suspension unit here somewhere. Is that not one? That's the one we've taken out already. There we go. Alright, I'll tell you what else we could do whilst we're here. We could put on the gear boxen. So we've got a flywheel now. So we've got a clutch plate, yes, and the other 2 plates don't seem to be fixable. So those 2. Bolt that into place. And then the clutch release bearing plate thingy majigabon. We don't have the actual lump. I4 rubber. Never mind. Can't win them all. Right. Starter motor, not yet, no. Put the drive shaft on, though. Jolly good. Alright, so that's that. And then we can drop the car to do the engine fiddling I was talking about before. Oh, I can't get anywhere near it when it's moving. Whoop, there we go. Alright, so now we can hang these off the crankshaft. Attach them to it, whatever, you know. Engine head, no. So that's an engine head I6. Head. Oh no, not typing in the right place. Awesome. Heed! Ah man, mind your heed. So we wanted an I6. You're good, with just 1 or 2 bolts to screw that into place. Don't want it coming loose after all. That's not good for engines. Looseness. Loose engines sink ships. That's a different. Camshafts. And they're 101 camshaft caps, which we don't have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 per side, really. Gee whiz. So camshaft caps. They have to be I6 ones. Ooh, they might. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish. Right, so now you don't need camshaft warping, because that would be the end of, you know, something. So we have all these billions of camshaft caps there. Stop it getting out of shape. Keep the pressure on it constant all the way along the shaft. It's very important. Oh dear. Single entendres ahoy. So, did we buy enough in that? Got slightly bored of buying things, buying Frenzy. So, we got 3 left? No. So, that's annoying. Have to go all the way back to the shop for another one. Oh man, what a long trip that was, just for 1 camshaft cap. Right, so then we need some 2, what was it? 2 barrel side draft carburetors. That puppy. Glad there's not a bunch of them that all look the same. That could get confusing. And then we need some air filters for these things. Nice shiny air filters. Round air filter side draft. Awesome. And they get screwed in as well. Long bolts. And they seem to have some weird sort of marking or reflection on them. I don't quite get that. Right, so then we need spark plugs times many. Spark plug. SP didn't really cut it down that much. 5 or 6 of them. I'll have to run back to the shop in a minute. It's just one of those situations where you fancy the shopkeeper's daughter and you... Oh, do I have to go out to the shop? Oh no, alright. I'll be really, really quick. I won't. I'll be there hours chatting to my prospective girlfriend. Right, cam gear I6. Nope. No. Cam gear I6. 2 of them poppies. And then some sort of timing chain. Timing chain I6, and it has some sort of sprocket on it, doesn't it? What was this? Timing chain sprocket. Well, there you go. Timing chain sprocket, there it was. Bolt that in, and then we've got the timing cover. Good. And then what was on top of that? A water pump or something? No. Oh yeah, distributor and crankshaft pulley. All kids love a crankshaft pulley. Crankshaft pulley I6. Nice shiny one. Ah, and then there's the belts, so serpentine belt, etc. So, serpentine belts, I6 and I6. Right, there we go. So, that one and that one. So then we need the distributor of ignitions. Let's take it and roll it around a bit. That's a coil. We need a distributor. Why is this half? There we go. There's a distributor, a little rotor arm, and then a hat, and then a couple of little clips. Clip B. We've got some clip Bs. That's nice. What is that yellow and black nonsense? What is all that? Right, so that's the distributor. Okay, so we haven't got the spark plugs in yet, have we? Or have we? Did we do that? I guess we must have done. We've covered them up with the carburetors. Is that how that worked? Oh, they went to the top, look. Oh, there they are. Happy days. Alright, come on, in you go, bolts. Why are these bolts going in? Are they just superbly long? Well, look at. Maybe they've got super fine threads on them, so they don't look like they're extra long, but they take 4 times as long to bolt in. There we go, good. Right, so now we can put an ignition wire set on there. Ignition wires I6. That's all the electrics sorted out at least. We've got a fuel filter here. Filt. We need an I6 oil filter too. Okay, so... oh no, we're not quite finished the engine. We've got a couple of exhaust manifolds to attach. And one more, so that's an exhaust manifold I6, as you might guess. Oh, not part of the Filt set though, so one manifold. Exhaust manifold I6. Alright, super. Alright, so we've got very little left else to do. An oil pan to replace. Let's do that now, then we put the oil in. We've got the brakes and the wheels and the bodywork. Pretty much getting there. Alright, so one oil pan, screw that in through the exhaust pipe. Oil filter. Ah, radiator fan, I knew I'd forget that. I haven't forgotten it yet. Ha ha ha! So what else have we got? Oh, brakes, yeah, rim, starter motor. Brakes, yeah, brakes. Radiator fan. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, so radiator fan, V8 OVE. Rad. Let's bolt that onto nothing. Alright, and that's the brakes system. So let's do this. So we need 2 ventilated and 2 normals. And all the brake pads. Let's see how many calipers we've got. Oh, we had 3, didn't we? I seem to remember, so we need a caliper as well. Now we're doing for wheels. Rim Retro 9, we've got one of those. That's a bit poor. So, ventilated pad, caliper, and a Rim Retro 9, which I didn't need to come out of there for. So, one of those, and then Rim Retro 9. Oh, pressing all the buttons. Alright. So, normal brake disc, brake pad, caliper, one of your Rim Retros. Here you go, mate, do you for a song. What, I have to sing you the song for the time? Oh, I don't understand these strange procedures. Right, so final wheel. Wander at the yellow and black. What's that about? And then check that that's all of those. Yep, that's everything. Nothing else needs doing at all. Oh god, why can't I move around the car now? What's going on? So start a motor. There, hurrah! Right, now we need to buy some bodywork parts for the, what was it, GT20? GT20! So, body parts, GT20. We need, yep, we need a boot, or a hood, what's it called? Bonnet, and headlights. So, hood, yep, headlights. So we need a front bumper and the front fenders. So front bumper, front fenders. A little bit of everything. Okay. Looks pretty neat there, doesn't it? So left tail light. It's got a rear bumper on, I guess. Left door. Front left door though, don't get the rear left door. Okay, so that's all the bodywork, as you can tell, look, 89%. 56 grand for 9 grand bonus. So let's go and finish that 11% off by doing this. $20. Now we can see this has gone up by, you know, quite a big chunk, about another 18 grand or whatever it was. Awesome, so that's that done, and we're selling this on because we want the money. So, sell car. Once we've, you know, given the customer some oil. For God's sake, I always forget the oil. There's the oil hole. There it is. Okay, so that was relatively quick. Half an hour-ish for that. Woo! Okay. Polish the hood for the nice new customer, and then overcharge them 77 grand. Yes, please. Woohoo! Making money. Actually gone up with a bit of money. Stopped buying things briefly. So we've got Kieran that we've already got to repeat, so that's a sell job, and then these two are do up and keeps. So I'll probably do another sell job first, make sure we've got plenty of money, then I'll do one of the keeps jobs, review the money, we might do some more jobs to get more money after that, and then alternate back and forth until we can increase our unique car list. And then of course I have to think about buying a new bloody parking thing for 150 grand. Anyway, until then, enjoy whatever it is you do, and come back and we'll do some more of this soon. Woo! That's right, woo! That's what I want you to leave with, the feeling of woo! Woo! Woo!